I'm Ajay Patel, founder and CEO of Verdure Sciences. Verdure Sciences as a business started in 1997, so we are in our 29th year. And as a business, we specialize in plant-based ingredients, and with a high focus on the scientific evidence behind those ingredients that we supply to the dietary supplement industry. In addition to that, we lay a lot of emphasis on the quality, the traceability, the sustainability of the ingredients that we offer to the supplement industry. And I think one of the things that we really pride ourselves is the fact that we are a globally positioned company based here in Noblesville, Indiana, in Hamilton County. And it's been a great journey over the past 29 years, of which 25 years have been in Noblesville, Indiana. So I grew up in India and I came to the US in 1992. I attended Purdue University. I did chemical engineering. And right after college, I started the business. Growing up in India in an agricultural community, I was always very intrigued by plants. And on a day-to-day basis, we consume a lot of these botanical and herbs that are becoming very mainstream today, and especially in the Western world. So when I started the business, it was something that was very interesting for me to begin with. I grew up with these herbs and botanicals, and then really wanted to, sort of combine or utilize my engineering degree, especially in chemical engineering, with respect to how we can provide some unique deliverables with these amazing plants and botanicals that have been traditionally used for centuries, delivering really potent health benefits. Putting a little bit more towards the scientific side of things is really where we come into play, where I came into play, is to understand the traditional usage, but then the modern day clinical studies that need to be applied to the traditional know-how. And I think as a company, that's something that we've done very successfully over the years. So in the case of turmeric, we actually licensed the technology from a reputable university in the US, actually UCLA. And they invented this technology to sort of have this active constituents in the turmeric plant or the root, where it delivers some really exciting benefits. For example, these are two neuroscientists that looked at a very important molecule in turmeric called curcumin, and they wanted to see its benefits in cognitive health, in brain health. So that's something that we licensed, and then we were able to commercialize that. So again, that's a really interesting and exciting example of something that I traditionally grew up with, and then how did we kind of commercialized it into the modern world. The botanical space and then the dietary supplement industry has really been thriving, I would say, over the past 3 decades. When I started the business, there wasn't a lot of regulatory oversight. And so over the years has been a lot of involvement by regulators. For example, the Food and Drug Administration here in the US. Outside of the US, just the global demand, the success of dietary supplements has been just amazing. And that has helped us as a company to really, tap into markets that were not there before. And having done the research and having invested in the validation of the ingredients that we create and then we supply to the industry, it has really, taken the industry to a different level. Because now from a consumer standpoint, you can go out and buy products that are clinically validated, that are efficacious and also safe. So it's really something that as an industry, we're very excited to be part of this industry, because when I started, again, it was a lot smaller and not as global, but today it's not only really large and growing, but also there's a lot of interest from other industries like the food industry and the pharmaceutical industry that are coming into the dietary supplement space. So being in Noblesville 25 years, we were in a different location as we moved into Noblesville, and then we transitioned into our new campus in 2018. And thanks again to the economic development team in Noblesville that helped us. to get into this space. It's a 7-acre campus. We have a building that is approximately 20,000 square feet. That includes a wellness building as well, where we have employees that we offer yoga. There's a garden on site, a greenhouse on site. So that's really great, because then we can get the produce from there and offer it to employees, which we do. We also have our own honeybees on the property, which is great. And then we harvest the honey and then not only give it to employees, but also share it with our customers and other stakeholders. So within this campus, in the building, we house different teams. We have customer service, we have sales, we have marketing. We also have a product development outfit here, where we produce a lot of really interesting iterations of products that eventually we hope that end up in the market. And we've had a couple of examples of those. Even though we are a B2B business and not directly selling to consumers, but we do help our customers, who are the brands that are then selling to the consumers, to really come up with ideas, and we provide them concepts. So we have a development lab here. And then in addition to that, we also have our supply chain logistics team, our finance team. So really, we have all aspects of the business that are operating at our HQ in Noblesville. And all in all, we have about 25 to 30 employees here at the Noblesville campus. In 2001, it was about, I think, 25 to 30,000 people in Noblesville. And today, I think it's about 150% growth with 75 to 80,000 people. So Noblesville has been, instrumental for a company like Verdure in terms of the growth that we've seen in the city, which has helped propel our growth in many different ways. The fact that the city of Noblesville, if you consider the surrounding cities, and there are some really nice cities in Hamilton County, as we say, which Noblesville is a part of. But with Noblesville, the uniqueness is in the history that Noblesville has and the history that it has preserved. So I think that's really exciting for any company, especially a company that has a global reach like Verdure. And so with that history, it also has a lot of modern development in terms of the growth, in terms of the infrastructure. I think the innovation mile that Mayor Jensen has really been driving very aggressively is really exciting for all of us to see the type of companies that are coming in. The arena at Innovation Mile is awesome. I've had a chance to be there. And also the focus on life sciences. We as a company are part of that sector. And we know that health, nutrition, wellness is very important for consumers and for our people. So I think from that standpoint, it's been great. I think the fact that Noblesville also has really great connectivity. I mean, if you look at exit 210, right off of 69, which is a major highway, and it's connecting some major cities. I think so getting onto 69 for us is very easy. You got 37, Highway 37, which the development over the last couple of years with the overpasses has made the flow of traffic really easy. And so I think those are really key elements that over the last even 10 years, that the investment that the city has put in is amazing. And I know that in previous conversations with the city, we've talked about having some nicer restaurants, for example. And so that's come a long ways. And I know that there's a lot of places that we can take our clients to go visit, to eat out. I think from a community standpoint and for families, it's great because there's a lot of mixed use developments, and there's quite a few that have come up just in the last 5 years. So just looking at the development in Noblesville itself over the years, as a company that's been here a quarter century, I mean, it's really, obviously exciting for us, it's refreshing for us. And it also, for any company that's wanting to invest, I mean, I talk about it with a lot of our strategic partners globally about the town of Noblesville, and, because a lot of them wonder, where's this city? I'm like, well, it's this growing city in the state of Indiana, and we've been here, 25 years, and the growth that we see is spectacular. One of the things about Noblesville that's really been instrumental for me and for Verdure is the fact that it's a close-knit community. And so when we talk about a lot of the businesses that have been here historically, or a lot of new businesses that are coming in, they really, the city really, and the economic development in particular, they really facilitate a lot of really good conversations, within the community of business owners, CEOs, and so I think that's really good, because we can talk about a lot of different things, that can benefit the city and how we are contributing to the city, who we are aligned with, because Verdure is a global company and we deal with international markets, Latin America, Europe, Asia. So we are very fortunate to be able to be based in Noblesville, but we are dealing with all kinds of different countries globally. And so I think where Verdure is located, we've seen tremendous amount of growth around us. We have Metro Plastics just across the street, and they've, I know, grown a lot over the last 10 years since they moved in. And then we've got also a lot of housing that's coming around us, which is great. And that attracts talent as well. And I know we've seen that. We've got folks actually within our company that are from the East Coast and from Chicago, and they come here, they're like, wow, this is a beautiful place. And we need to consider this place, maybe potentially at some point moving here. So I think when you have that sort of feedback, it really makes you feel good about where you are. So being in Noblesville, I think we're quite central as it relates to, top-notch universities that are around us. Purdue University, IU, Notre Dame, to name a few. I mean, there are several others. And we actually, over the years, have really been able to capitalize on the talent as a result. Of course, there are other ways to attract talent. The universities obviously are one of the ways, and very fortunate again to be in a location like Noblesville. We've had a lot of interns that have been a part of our organization over the years, whether summer interns, and actually there's been a couple of interns that have come on full time with us after their education. So I think just being centrally located and having access to the talent pool has been great. Obviously, with everything that Noblesville and the city has been doing in terms of investments that the city is putting into new arenas, new restaurants, new mixed-use developments, also attracts talent. And I think one of the key for us as it relates to Noblesville and why is it such a great place to be in is the fact that it is very affordable. And I think affordability is obviously very important because things are only becoming more and more expensive. So housing, for example, is very affordable. Parking, and again, parking is something that we're very, again, thankful for the city that there's been a lot more parking opportunities, which I know was a bit of a challenge in the early years, but we've come a long way. So I think all these things are really exciting to attract good talent. So we each year bring on several interns, and again, as a life science business, focusing on plants and botanicals, it's very unique for this area. I think we are one of the very few companies that do what we do, and I think it's very intriguing for a lot of the kids that are out there that are looking for a career path, and they don't realize what's out there in this space. And so I think when they come in, with a degree in chemistry or the degree in engineering and the potential that you can see. I mean, we have an example in our family where our daughter who went to Purdue and did something completely different, and now she's doing sustainability at the company. And so, there's a lot of opportunities that can come out as a result of the type of things that we are doing, the industry that we are in, the products that we are creating, the consumers that we are targeting, the global landscape that we have. I think it's really exciting, and we do see this as a future for us to bring in new talent, is to have folks that can come in, get a taste of what we do. We can obviously share with them our world, and then hopefully someday they will want to come and join us permanently. So being in Noblesville, 25 years, if I were to talk to another CEO or a business owner to look at the business in Noblesville, I would tell them to look at a wide variety of different things, right? First and foremost is, are you able to find a city and the people that run the city that are willing to collaborate with you, that are willing to listen to you, that are willing to take action? And I think that from our experience, my first-hand experience, I can tell you that over the last 20 plus years, we've had so much support from the city. And that's very important for a business to thrive. And I think that's number one. I think secondly, I would say that Noblesville, with the growth that it has had, in terms of the infrastructural growth, in terms of the type of other companies that are coming in, I think that's really instrumental, because we see that the type of companies that are coming in, and being in the life science business in our case, but there are many other industries and areas of business. For example, we talk about the arena at Innovation Mile, and you're talking about the NBA G League coming. I believe that also you have the USA Gymnastics coming in and making their home in Noblesville. So I think when you look at what Noblesville is attracting, I don't think you can go wrong with selecting Noblesville as your home. And I think with respect to things to do in Noblesville, for employees, for your kids, I mean, obviously the education is great. The Noblesville school system is amazing, and it's top notch, and it's ranked very highly in the nation. So I think from that standpoint, it's a great place to be in. The community, again, is very close knit, and I think last but not least, the history that the city has preserved. I think that's huge. When we moved in to Noblesville, that's what attracted us really the most, is the fact that the city is preserving the history while it's also growing and expanding tremendously. So as a company, Verdure has a base, whether it's customers, whether it's our manufacturing partners, other industry stakeholders, in many different countries around the globe, talking about Japan, talking about Europe, talking about Korea. And it's very interesting because we've had a lot of our stakeholders actually come visit us at our HQ in Noblesville over the years. And they just love the city. We've taken them to downtown, we've taken them to different restaurants, we've taken them for different walks. I mean, just even coming to our HQ, it's something that we are very proud of, but it's another thing that when folks come in from around the world and they see this sort of a facility in Noblesville. So I think, with our global reach and the ability for us to, have those folks coming in and showing them this facility and showing them Noblesville has been instrumental. A lot of them have also asked us, are there opportunities in Noblesville, to which I keep, letting them know that anytime, happy to introduce you to our city, and I'm sure you love the experience. So yeah, I think being here and doing this global business has been incredible from Noblesville. So as a business, we've obviously had a lot of success. We're very happy about that, and especially success in Noblesville, being in Noblesville. I think as we look at the future and the fact that as a company, we are really making a lot of strides as it relates to the type of brands that we are working with. And by that I mean just the outreach that those brands have. So in recent years, we've really been working with companies that are well positioned in the mass market, in the mass retail, selling their products, selling the brand into the Costco's of the world, into the Sam's Club, the CVS, Targets. So that's something that we are very excited about, because being in Noblesville and starting a business here from scratch, literally, and then now having the ability to have that outreach, I think is exciting. I think the future is to ensure that we continue to invest in the ingredients that we develop, with the science, with the rigor that we put in from a quality, traceability. Sustainability is a big part of not only our business and our industry, but in general the consumers' awareness and also interest for sustainability. And so that's something that we are going to continue to invest in. I know that we planted some trees over the last few years, maple trees on our campus. I know we've got a wetland that we've preserved over the years, and that's been great. And we want to continue to invest in sustainability as we look into the future.